17 years old, Ryu Kang-min is already one of the deadliest contract killers alive, and he has just been offered the only reward he has ever truly wanted: freedom. To earn it, he must return to Korea and complete one final assassination. There is no photograph of his target, no exact location, barely anything beyond a single name. With millions of people living in Seoul, finding one unknown person should be nearly impossible. But Ryu has been trained his entire life to accomplish the impossible. His investigation will force him to hide his scars beneath a school uniform, pretend to be an ordinary transfer student, and experience the normal life that was stolen from him long ago. If he succeeds, he will never have to kill for the organization again. But Ryu knows better than anyone that freedom is never given without a price, and this mission already feels far too strange to be what it appears. Tomorrow, his new life at school begins. Tonight, however, he has one loose end to eliminate. Inside a small corner shop in Korea, blood is sprayed all around, covering the walls and the appliances. The perpetrator connects his earpiece to his contact, noting that it's 6 p.m. Korean time, and the target has been eliminated. The contact asks if there are any inconveniences in Korea, and he confirms there are. Since he is a student now, he won't be able to buy cigarettes. Just before this, he was complaining about the withdrawal from not having cigarettes, as he felt like he wanted to suck on a pacifier or something to dull it. If he'd known this would happen, he should have packed his suitcase full when he came in. Back in the day, even elementary schoolers ran errands for their dad's booze and smokes from time to time. Did Korea's warm hospitality vanish once it became such a developed country? Then again, it has changed beyond recognition in just 10 years. It feels like some kind of futuristic city. There are expensive cars everywhere too. He sees a lady get out of her car and can see that the standard of living, along with the environment, even the way people live, has changed so much. Additionally, there was nothing this big before, and by this big, he means this duck. Did it grow along with the country's status? Even if so much has changed, the cherry blossom trees that he knows are still the same. A kid runs by him towards his parents, noting that the giant duck made him want duck soup. The boy stares at this and remembers his own time as a child when he came here with his parents, when he thought the cherry blossoms were popcorn seeds that he tried to eat. His mother told him that they should go to the theater for some real popcorn if he wanted to, as there was a movie he wanted to see, The Female's Professor's Secret Lesson. His father adamantly agreed. Now though, walking through that same street, a bitter feeling aches in his chest, one that he did not think he could feel anymore. Suddenly, his pager beeps, and he scoffs as he doesn't even have a moment to reminisce. Well, he did come here for work after all, so he should get to it. As the evening arrives and the sun begins to set, he makes his way to a supermarket. Well, it's mostly a corner shop really, but he likes it, as this is where real people live. He pops his head in and asks if there is anyone here. Seeing nobody, he immediately makes his way to the cigarette section, but that's when someone else speaks from one of the counters, asking if a student is allowed to smoke. The boy isn't surprised by his presence and notes that he was just running an errand for his dad. His father even gave him his card. He should put it on a 36-month installment plan. The man looks at him knowingly as he sees the card and turns his head back, noting that he is a customer too. The boy apologizes, explaining that he watched a lot of K-dramas while living abroad, so the man looked just like the shopkeepers in those shows. He got a little confused. The man thinks that's a really nice coincidence. He only recently got back from abroad himself. The boy agrees, noting it is an incredible coincidence, and, by pure coincidence too, he worked in the same line of work as him before. The boy cannot finish. The man tries to stab him through one of the shelves, as he knows who he is, a contract killer from abroad. Is he here to kill him, perhaps? The boy is glad he catches on pretty quickly. He is still quite sharp for a traitor to the organization. He pins him by the neck against the shelf before throwing him, noting that he killed members of the organization and fled. He is here to take his life. After throwing him into one of the shelves, the man notes that he saw the card he had. In the organization, depending on an agent's rank, they issue cards of different colors, and among them, the black card is a card given only to the highest-ranking agents. He's never even heard of it. He thought it was only a rumor that an agent as young as him could be issued a black card. The young boy is flattered. Getting a compliment from a senior is quite touching. The man stares him up and down, and asks where his weapon is. Did he seriously come in here unarmed? The boy holds his hands up, noting that it got confiscated by airport security. The man can't believe it. To think that a black rank would be so sloppy to not know their rules. The first rule is to secure a weapon. He breaks off a piece of the box cutter and throws it at the boy, who catches it, and then uses the second rule of assassination, a surprise attack, doing so from behind. His strike cuts a bunch of produce on the shelves, and cola spills from one of the bottles as the boy catches the man by the hand. wondering why he even betrayed their organization. An agent of his caliber must have enjoyed countless benefits, right? Why did he betray them? The man stays silent for a moment, and then explains that it's just like that tin can behind him. Every single day felt like being trapped inside of that tin can. He switches the box cutter from one hand to the other, retreating for a moment before charging in again. But the boy deflects his blade with the tin can, noting that this is quite a nice metaphor. Did he take a creative writing class at a community center or something? The man scoffs, and wonders if he does not already know. They begin clashing, and the man explains, just doing whatever the organization orders. Living as a hunting dog until the day one dies is a truly hellish experience. All he wanted was to be free. Their clash continues, the boy's tie being cut at the tip, until they both clash one final time, cutting each other. The boy's been cut, sure, and he notes that in exchange for that freedom, he must have lost something. The man confirms as such, the rim of the tin now etched inside his cheek. The thing that he lost was his family. Once the organization had realized his betrayal, they killed his family. The boy looks at him with a knowing glint in his eye. The organization tracks down the identities of an agent's family and keeps them under surveillance to prevent betrayal like this. Basically, they use them as hostages. The man charges in once again with half of his box cutter, but the boy simply kicks a bag of flour in his face, dusting the entire area. He picks him up and throws the man onto the ground, telling him that even if he does regret it now, it is a little too late. The man agrees, as he paid the price of freedom with his family's life. But in truth, that was a cheap price to pay. The boy is surprised by his expression and asks, "You knew your family would be sacrificed, and you still did it?" The man tells him, "Here's how it is. Every single one of them, all of them, spout the same annoying nonsense, no matter who they are." This is a store he used to visit pretty often. He has known the owner for quite a long time, but today, of all days, he looked like he was about to collapse from exhaustion. Out of concern, he told him to have a day off and just rest. Do they know what he said? If he rests, how will he feed his family? He was a truly good man, a dedicated family man, working himself to death for his bedridden wife and young naive children in a tiny tenpyeong shop, spending his life sacrificing for his family. But he doesn't see that. He just sees a damn idiot. The boy asks if that was the entire reason for killing him, and the man says it was just so annoying, sacrificing for family and talking as if he is happy in the first place. He wants to protect his family, doesn't he? With those words, he disappears into the mist of flour, claiming that this is why he's kept going all of this time. That's why he's still alive as the organization's dog. So he wants to give him a piece of advice as his senior. Family is just a leash. With those words, he cuts through the shelf from behind and rushes through it with a large clank of metal. He tells him, "If I have to live my whole life bound by a leash, then I would rather cut my own throat, just like I have cut yours." However, the boy is completely unharmed by the man's attack, while a cut is clearly visible on the man's neck. The boy is a little annoyed, however, as this blade is too small for that, meaning it cannot cut a throat. Now he must wonder how he did it, right? He should have kept track of where his weapon went. That's the third rule of assassination, to not throw things around recklessly. The man falls to the ground, clutching his throat where a piece of the box cutter is lodged. The wound is killing him. He asks if he's been toying with him the entire time, and the boy disagrees. He only wishes to see if there was any other motive behind his betrayal. This really isn't personal. He means no ill will by it. The man's hand on his throat tightens, and he knows that, to be this relaxed against him, he must really be an agent sent by the organization to kill him. However, the boy says he has it all wrong. The reason he came to Korea is not really because of him. He was just a stop along the way, a nice bonus. The main target he has to eliminate is quite special. Special enough that he will have to risk his life to achieve it. He did say he wanted freedom, right? He hopes in the afterlife he will have that eternal freedom. With that, he kills the traitor and says that it is over. For a sub-target, it really wasn't a bad warm-up. Now he should head to his main target, the true assassination target. There really shouldn't be any issues with the mission, but he does need a new school uniform, as this one is badly damaged, since tomorrow is the start of the contract killing and his new life at school. The next day, as the rest of the students are continuing their rather boring lives, the boy arrives. Now that he is here, perhaps he could bum a smoke from one of them. In truth, this is just a persona that will let him get closer to his target and eliminate them. 1 month ago, in the Angeles district, at the member of the House of Representatives mansion, the boy had another mission at a private home, but he wondered why a private home had so much security. Couldn't his target just walk into his own grave? This target was the member of the House of Representatives, Manuel Santos. He understood what he came here to do, but told the boy to release his family first. His child was terrified, and his wife was crying, trying to soothe the frightened child. Manuel told him they have nothing to do with whatever is between them. so he should let them go.